in a peaceful Yoruba village named Iludu, nestled amidst the lush greenery of the West African countryside. There lived a young blacksmith named Adewale, vibrant, faithful, and diligent. Adewale earned the admiration of the villagers through his exceptional craftsmanship and unwavering dedication to his trade. The tools and ornaments forged by his hands were unmatched in quality, and his character made him a beacon of honor among the youth. But where respect was earned, envy also grew. Among the village's young men, jealousy simmered, and the ghost's hard work and humility only deepened their resentment. They whispered among themselves, plotting ways to diminish the blacksmith's light. Each year, the village hosted a grand festival where young men could choose their wives. It was a time of joy and celebration marked by dance, music, and feasting. During this festival, the eligible maidens of the village adorned themselves in their finest attire and danced before the crowd, their beauty and grace captivating all who watched. This year, amidst the dazzling array of young women, one maiden stood out, Adewale, the most beautiful damsel in the village. Her radiant smile and graceful movement drew the attention of every young man. Many sought her hand, but her heart chose Adewale, whose honor and diligence had earned her respect and affection. Union celebrated with great fanfare, ignited the envy of the other young men into a blazing hatred. They could not bear to see Adewale, already celebrated, now married to the most beautiful woman in the village. Fueled by jealousy, the young men devised a sinister plan. They would frame Adewale for a crime so heinous that it would lead to his death. Late one night, they crept into the king's palace and stole the sacred crown, a symbol of the king's divine authority. They hid the crown in Adewale's workshop, knowing that theft of the crown carried the penalty of being buried alive. When the theft was discovered, the village was thrown into chaos. King's guards searched high and low, and it wasn't long before the crown was found among Adewale's tools. Despite his protest of innocence and calls for fair investigation, the evidence was damning. The envious young men feigned outrage, further condemning Adewale in the eyes of the villagers. Adewale was arrested, and within days, the sentence was carried out. As he was buried alive, his voice rang out, filled with anguish and righteous fury. This land shall bear the weight of this injustice. May it know famine, death, and despair until the truth is revealed and justice is done. Adewale's death shattered his young wife, Adewale. Only 3 months into their marriage, she was now alone and shunned by the villagers, who believed her husband to be a thief. Her sorrow deepened when she discovered she was pregnant. The joy of her child's impending birth was overshadowed by loneliness and rejection. Adewale's nights were filled with tears and her days with the hard labor of survival. When her son, Babatunde, was born, he became her sole source of solace. She poured all her love and strength into raising him, despite the whispers and scorn of the villagers. As the years passed, Babatunde grew into a young man who bore the strength and determination of his father. 22 years after Adigun's death, once prosperous village had fallen into ruin. Crops withered in the field, rivers dried up, and disease spread unchecked. Villagers once proud and thriving lived in fear and despair. Neighboring villages took advantage of their weakened state, waging war and claiming vast portions of their land. Desperate, the villagers turned to the oracle for answers. Clad in ceremonial robe, the oracle entered a trance and spoke with a voice that sent shivers through all who listened. The land suffers under a curse placed by one who was wrongfully slain. The blacksmith, Adigun, whose life was stolen by envy and deceit, has borne this land to his sorrow. The curse will endure until the truth is revealed and justice is done. The oracle's revelation struck villagers like lightning. The elders summoned Adewale and Babatunde to the village square. Tears streaming down her face, Adewale recounted the tale of her husband's innocence and the jealousy that led to his death. Babatunde, though filled with anger, stood tall, demanding justice for his father. The guilty young men, now older and burdened with their secret, would no longer bear the weight of their guilt. One by one, they confessed to their crime. The village erupted in grief and shame, mourning the loss of a good man whose death had brought so much suffering. To lift the curse, the villagers held a grand ceremony to honor Adigun's memory. The envious men who framed him were banished, their names erased from the village's history. Adewale and Babatunde were given a place of honor, and the village pledged never again to let envy and deceit rule their hearts. As the ceremony concluded, rain began to fall, soaking the parched earth. Crops sprang to life, rivers flowed anew, and the village slowly regained its former glory. Babatunde, inspired by his father's legacy, became a blacksmith like Adigun, earning the respect and admiration of the villagers. The story of Adigun's life and sacrifice was passed down through generations, a cautionary tale of the destructive power of envy and the enduring strength of justice and truth.